Remember, as Al calls the game, Holtzman must get his breaking pitches over. If his curveball is over, he does have a fine fastball, and that breaking pitch in the strike zone can set up the fastball. But if his breaking stuff doesn't get over, Holtzman is in trouble. Game 4, Oakland leads it 2-1. Here's Al Michaels.
All right, Jim. Pete Rose, switch hitter, batting right-handed, takes the first pitch of the game for a strike. 0-1. Frank Dumont, the plate umpire. Bob Engel at first. Bill Hanna at second. Chris Pellicudis at third. Jim Honachuk down the left field line. Mel Steiner down the right field line. Rose takes outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Pete is 1 for 11 in the World Series. Mando in on the grass at third. The outfield shaded toward left. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Missing low and inside, ball 2. 2-1. The A's defensively with Ken Holtzman and Gene Tenace. Mike Epstein at first, Dick Green at second, Bert Campaneris at short, Sal Bando at third. The next pitch to Rose is grounded to Green at second, fires to first, 1 away. Rose gone, up comes Joe Morgan. In the outfield for Oakland, Joe Rudy in left, George Hendrick in center, Matty Alou in right. Joe Morgan had a great year with the Reds, had a great playoff series against Pittsburgh, but in the World Series, he is 0 for 10. He's been on a couple of times. He's walked twice, reached on an error, stolen 2 bases. Swings at the fly ball to left field. Joe Rudy drifting in underneath, makes the catch, 2 down. Bobby Tolan, the batter. For Holtzman, this is his second start in the World Series. He pitched Saturday, worked 5 innings plus, was the winning pitcher. Vinyl Blue getting the save. He gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 3. 2 out, bases empty. Top of the first inning, no score. Game number 4 of the World Series with the A's leading 2-1. 5th game tomorrow afternoon. Bobby Tolan, left-hand batter. Mando in shallow, and Tolan bunts up the line toward first. Holtzman throws to Epstein, dropped by Mike. Tolan is safe. The throw had him, but it trickled out of Epstein's glove, and we'll see how they scored as the Reds have the game's first base runner. Good bunt by Tolan, and a nice play by Holtzman down off the mound to field it. Wheeled around through to first, in and out of the glove of Epstein, and Tolan is safe. Johnny Bench, the batter. 3 for 10 in the World Series, but he had a long night last night, 0 for 4, and he struck out 3 times. An error is charged to the pitcher, Ken Holtzman, on the throw to allow Tolan to get to first base. Bobby held on by Epstein. George Scherger is the first base coach for the Reds. Alex Brown is the third. First pitch to Bench is lined to right field, and Lou coming on, but it drops in for a base hit. Tolan around second. He goes to third as the throw is cut off by Green. So the Reds get a break on the error and try to capitalize as Johnny Bench, swinging at the first pitch, goes the opposite way into right field for the game's first hit. The Reds have runners at first and third with 2 down, and here's the hottest hitter in the World Series, Tony Perez. He's 5 for 10. Perez last night singled in the 7th, was sacrificed to second, and then scored on the single by Cesar Geronimo, the game's only run. Tony scoring despite falling down as he rounded third base. Outfield, deep, around toward left. Bando back of the bag at third. Holtzman ready, comes to the plate, and Perez takes the strike. 0-1. Here in Oakland, 330 down both lines. 400 to straightaway center, 375 to the alley. Bench 8 feet high all the way around. Holtzman ready, and there's strike 1 pitcher on the way. Is fouled off to the right, out of play. 0-2. On deck is Hal McRae. Tomorrow in Game 5, the Reds have made a change. It's Gary Nolan's turn, but he has been scratched. Sparky Anderson will announce his pitcher after the game, but look for Jim McLaughlin to be named. Catfish Hunter will work for the A's. 2 out, first inning. Bobby Tolan at third. Johnny Bench at first. No score. Holtzman set. And the strike 2 pitch. Bench goes. The pitch is high, and there's no throw to second. So Bench has an uncontested steal. Tolan remains at third. on tennis all series long. And that's to be expected because they were running club against everybody during the regular season. Holtzman ready, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Perez takes low. Ball 2, 2-2. Bench steal of second is the 5th stolen base by the Reds in the 3 games plus of the World Series. Colin down the line from third, Bench off second. Holtzman out of a windup. The 2-2 pitch is popped foul right side, back out of play. The Reds as a team hitting 178. The A's as a team batting 178 in the World Series. The Reds have 17 hits in the 3 games, and the A's have only 16. Holtzman ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Foul back. Ken Holtzman, 26 years old, born in St. Louis, makes his home in Creve Coeur, Missouri. 6'2", weighs 175. Made his major league debut with the Chicago Cubs in 1965 and stayed with the Cubs through last year when he was 9 and 15. Then traded to the A's for outfielder Rick Monday. 2-2 the count. Holtzman with a sign, and the pitch to Perez is swung on and missed by 3. So the Reds threatened to come up empty-handed in the first inning. No run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runners left. At the end of the half inning, Cincinnati nothing. Oakland coming up.
This is Johnny Bench for Anco Windshield Wipers with a private word to all the service station men who display the bright yellow Anco Windshield Wiper service cabinet. Your customers will appreciate it when you give them the right pitch on streaking wiper blades, especially those with hidden wipers. Just ask them if their wipers are streaking, and if they say yes, tell them you can replace them with fresh new Anco wiper blades while you're filling their gas tank. Anco blades will help see them home safe.
One of the most important parts of every new car is made of paper, the owner's manual. This year, the owner's manuals for almost all the new cars are recommending a low-octane gasoline, like Gulftane. What they don't tell you is that Gulftane costs even less than Gulf Regular. And it has the performance additive package you'd expect from Gulf. Check your owner's manual and try a tank full of Gulftane, the low-cost gasoline for new cars. Johnny Bench, who was down at second base as Perez struck out at a 2-2 fastball from Holtzman, has just now gotten his gear on and has begun to catch the warm-ups of young Don Gullett, 21 years old. Quite a Kentucky athlete. At one time in high school, he scored 12 touchdowns. He scored 47 points in one high school basketball game and averaged 25, and he's quite a pitcher. And in the World Series of 1970, he was in 3 of those games, pitching a total of 6 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. 1 of those was earned, 5 hits, walked 4, and struck out 4. He'll be going against Campaneris, Lou, and Rudy. And as the Reds' top 3 men, Rose, Morgan, and Tolan, have not been able to reach base with any kind of regularity, nor have Campaneris and Alou, the top 2 men of the Oakland A's. The scoreless ball game, last of the first, and here again is Al Michaels.
All right, Jim Campaneris hit .240 during the regular season with 8 home runs, 32 runs batted in. In the World Series, he's 3 for 11. Don Gullett from the town of Lynn, Kentucky, 21 years old, 3rd year with the Reds, comes to the plate. Campaneris takes a strike after bluffing a bunt. 0-1. Gullett making his first start in the World Series. Started 2 games in the playoffs. Lost 1, had no decision in the other. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Campaneris bunts foul. 0-2. The Reds defensively, Don Gullett and Johnny Bench. Tony Perez at first. Joe Morgan at second. Dave Concepcion at short. Dennis Menke at third. The outfield, Pete Rose in left. Bobby Tolan in center. Al McRae in right. No score. Bottom of the first. 0-2 on Campaneris with Alou waiting on deck. The wind and the strike 2 pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 1. Gullett, weak at the start of the season. Sent home for tests in May. It was discovered he had subsiding hepatitis. Spent some time in the hospital. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled away out of play. Then it was a pretty slow road back for Don. Came out of the bullpen in May and June, and they gave him a start in Los Angeles in June, and he worked 7 innings and looked sharp, but then regressed. went back into the pen and came out again in August. Pitched well in August and well in the first part of September. 1-2 pitch is grounded slowly left of the mound, fielded by Gullett, who slips but throws and gets him. Nice play by Don, who's a fine fielding pitcher. I don't know if Menke would have been able to throw him out. Denny charging in from third, and Gullett got there first. And despite slipping and falling down, had enough on the throw, and it was accurate enough to get Campaneris one away. Matty Alou, the batter, hit .281 with the A's after he was acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Reds know all about Alou, who is a former National League batting champion. Matty in the series, 1 for 10. Menke another grass to third as Alou takes down low, ball 1. 1-0. Alou, 33 years old. Lifetime big league average, .310. The line by Gullett. 1-0 pitch is the fastball popped in the air to left field. Rose coming on quickly, makes a running catch. Waist high. Pete Rose playing shallow and left on the run to retire Alou. So there's 2 down. Rose goes back to his friends in the left field seat. He's made a few in the Red Street stay out here, but actually he's 1-1 with the signs out there tonight. He has one pro sign that says Rose Garden, go Red, but another that says Rose is a pansy. 2 down. Rudy, the batter. Joe in the World Series is 3 for 11, including a home run on Sunday. Looks to the strike of the knee. 0-1. Rudy, the American League leader in hits this year, averaged .305, 19 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Outfield around toward right. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Fastball blew it by him. 0-2. Bando out on deck. Reds nothing, A's nothing. 2 out. Bases empty. Bottom of the first inning. Gullett checking with bench. Down into his windup, and the strike 2 pitch on the way is outside, ball 1. Jerry Adair coaching at first. Irv Norris coaching at third. The line by Gullett. 1-2 pitch on the way. A check swing pop-up in the infield near second, and Concepcion makes the catch on the skin part to retire the side. So the A's go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first, and at the end of 1. Like a coin.
You know, that's the tractor. Gillette made it 1 blade better.
Back again in Oakland, California, under cloudy and increasingly chilly skies, with the temperatures dropping into the 50s. Jim Simpson with Al Michaels. We begin the second of the scoreless ball game, 4th game of the World Series. Oakland leads 2-1.
Al McRae leads off for the Reds. Making his first start in the World Series. He's been up as a pinch hitter twice, and he has 2 hits. Takes outside ball 1. McRae had 5 home runs this year, 4 as a pinch hitter. 1-0 the count. Holtzman back to the plate. McRae swings, grounds it into center field for a base hit. So Hal McRae, who calls himself the Reds' offensive player, is now 3 for 3 in the World Series. And if you're wondering why McRae, who's a very fine hitter, isn't in the starting lineup with the Reds normally, it's because the Reds have been trying to find a position for him to play. They tried him in right and the third, and Hal's had his problems, but as a hitter, he has done a great job this year. And so Sparky Anderson gives him the start tonight, and he responds with a base hit. He's 3 for 3 in the series. Dennis Menke, the batter, around the bunt, misses for a strike. They throw to first, and McCarron, and McRae is able to get back. Dennis had him picked off as McRae was hung out to dry, but the throw was in the dirt. And Epstein had to block it just to keep it out in front, found it away from him, and it enabled McRae to get back. So another break for the Reds. 0-1 the count on Menke. Menke is 1 for 9 in the World Series. At .233 this year. 9 home runs, 50 runs batted in. McRae a cautious lead at first. Holtzman set. Comes to the plate, and Menke swings and grounds it to Bando, who short hops to third. He goes to Green 1, and that's all. And McRae really takes Green out of the play. Dick never got his throw away to first base as McRae went barreling in, and a finer block you'll never see.
Also, Al Bando had a little trouble getting that ball out of his glove. Might have been turned over quicker. McRae could have been farther up the line. Could have been the double play. But Bando, who short-hopped the ball beautifully, had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. Late starting the double play. Menke saved it first.
5-4. If Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders is here, he may have a prospect. The way McRae took out Green. Menke at first base now. Concepcion, the batter, right-hand hitter, takes down low ball 1-0. Concepcion is 1-for-2 in the World Series. He starts against left-handers, so he played in the first game on Saturday against Holtzman. Dave hit 209 during the regular season. Takes the strike and the count is even. 1-1. Cincinnati nothing, Oakland nothing in the second inning. Then it's Menke at first base. 1 out. Holtzman at the belt. 1-1 pitch. His pop foul out of play. 1-2. Don Gullett waiting on deck. Game 5 of the World Series coming your way tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Captain Hunter for the A's, probably Jim McLaughlin for the Reds. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Grounded slowly towards Bando at third. He goes to Green for 1. Back on to first, not in time. And again a 5-4 force out with Menke erased at second and Concepcion now safe at first. 2 down, and the Reds' best hitting pitcher comes up, Don Gullett. Swings the bat well, hit .211 this year, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. A lefty on the mound, he hits right-handed. The Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The A's, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. Holtzman set a check of Concepcion in the pitch. Gullett swings and misses. 0-1. Outfield around third right. Bando playing back of the bag at third, about 8 feet off the line. Holtzman to the plate. Gullett swings and misses. 0-2. 2 fastballs, both either just down the outside corner or just missing. And Gullett chasing both. 0-2. Holding the runner at first. The strike 2 pitch to Gullett, down low. 1-2 to count. Steve Rose waiting on deck. Gullett, 21 years old. Spent 1 season in the minors. Was with the Reds in 1970. Pitched in the World Series at the age of 19. Swings at the ground ball to Dick Green at second. He flips to Campaneris for the fourth, and the side retires. Gullett gone, Reds out in the second, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 1 at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
The Automotive Manual of the Air. Home installation of the torsion bar. Number 1. Insert the torsion bar through the rear anchor. Slide the balloon seal over the torsion bar. Install a plug and lock ring in the rear anchor. Pack the annual opening in the rear anchor completely full of neutral mileage lubricant. Multi-mileage lubricant. Turn the adjustment.
There's a better way. If you want to feel the kind of handling, the stability on curves, the control you get over dip, squat, sway with torsion bar suspension, put yourself in a car from Chrysler Corporation. Extra care in engineering makes a difference on every 73 Dodge, Chrysler, or Plymouth built in this country.
Number 2, and this is important. Install the upper control arm rebound bumper and tighten the nut 200-inch pounds.
Last night for Game 3, 49,410. A record for the Oakland Coliseum for baseball. Jammed in here and looking around this cloud-covered stadium tonight. It is also full. And as we go to the last of the second, it's early in the ball game, but we can't help but remember, Al, every other game, the first 2 have been decided by 1 run, and they're being stingy again tonight.
No scores. We go to the bottom of the second. Sal Bando in the throes of a big slump leads off for the A's. Bando has no extra base hits in his last 16 games. Right-hand batter takes the strike. Sal has not homered since September the 20th. Hit one off Wilbur Wood here at Oakland. Has no extra base hit since the 22nd of September. Strike one pitch inside. Bando in the World Series, 1 for 12. To be followed by Epstein and Hendrick. Now in his last 10 games. Counting a playoff. 5 hits and 39 trips to the plate. 1-1 on the way. Is down at the right field for a base hit. So Sal Bando moves into the number 4 spot in the order. Responds with an opposite field hit. The first for the A's. And up comes Mike Epstein. Mike Epstein is 0 for 7 in the series. Hit 270 during the regular season. 26 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Led the A's in homers. Mike, born in the Bronx, New York, grew up in Los Angeles, went to college in Berkeley, nearby, played baseball and football at Cal. Fell to the plate. Epstein takes a strike, a fastball on the inside corner. 0-1. Reds nothing, A's nothing. In the second, Sal Bando at first base. Not a threat to go, so Perez takes a little bit of liberty and plays a step back of him. Strike one pitch on the way. Lifted foul back to third out of play. 0-2. Epstein 0 for 10 in his last 4 games, and that counts the last game of the American League playoff. Mike big and strong, and the Reds play him deep and around third right. Hendrick on back. Gullit checks with bench. Don is ready, and the strike 2 pitch is a breaking ball outside. Ball 1. Gullit throws mainly fastballs. Worked on a curve this year. Worked on a curve similar to the pitch thrown by Bert Hooton of the Chicago Cubs, a knuckle curve. And they will do a lot of work on that particular pitch next spring. 1-2 pitch on the way is a broken bat looper to Morgan for the out at second, and Bando hustles back to first to avoid the double play. So Epstein breaks his bat, hits a humpback liner to Morgan. Bando back to first, and with 1 down, up comes George Hendrick, the center fielder. George Hendrick. He started every game in the World Series. Of course, he's Reggie Jackson's replacement. Hit 182 during the regular season. 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Right-hand batter with a closed stance. He swings and misses. 0-1. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Reds. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 error for the A's. Hendrick, 23 years old yesterday, waiting at the plate. Outfield shading toward right. And the strike 1 pitch is in the dirt and blocked by bench. 1-1. Gene Tennis will be next. If you joined us late, the Reds had a threat in the first inning with 2 outs. Holden was safe on an error. Bench singled and stole second. But then with runners at second and third, Perez struck out. In the second, McRae led off with a base hit. But Holtzman was able to retire the side. Here in the second, the A's get their first hit off Gullit. And the pitch is grounded to short, and Concepcion steps on second after hesitating and throws to first to get the double play. David decided he was going to run over and touch it himself after it looked like he was going to flip the ball to Morgan. So the Reds get a 6-3 double play, and the A's out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. At the end of 2, Oakland nothing, Cincinnati nothing. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Gilbert. This is Miss Ramsey. I'm conducting a survey. Would you mind answering a few questions about air travel?
I'd be glad to.
What airline confirms your reservation in 3 seconds?
Delta.
And which airline delivers your bags in an average of 7 minutes after you land?
Delta.
Can you name an airline that flies the wide jets, the 747, and soon the DC-10?
Delta.
What airline is known as the airline run by professionals?
Delta.
Which airline offers total service?
Delta.
Does the airline you fly most often accept the American Express Money Card? And does it let you extend payment for airfare on the American Express Money Card sign and fly plan?
Delta does.
Which airline do you plan to fly on your next trip?
Would you like to take a guess? In
In the third, it'll be the top of the Cincinnati batting order in this scoreless game. But now let's pause 30 seconds for station identification.
KGW Portland. It's like a box seat at the World Series. Maybe even better. It gives you close-up sporting action on your Zenith Color TV. Hurry to Smith Home Furnishings for this World Series special. Zenith 16-inch diagonal major Chromacolor portable TV for only $328. Features easy carry handle, automatic fine-tuning, and tint control. Built-in antenna, plus Zenith's famous Chromacolor picture tube for only $328. Now at Smith Home Furnishings, Southeast 30th and Division. Smith's open weeknights till 9, Saturdays till 6.
Pete Rose leading off the third, bunch out in front of the plate, and Tennis throws him out for the first out. So one pitch, one away as Rose tries to bunt his way on. Play goes 2-3, and up comes Joe Morgan. Morgan fly to left in the first inning. Joe 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 11 in the World Series. Good speed. Second in the National League in stolen bases to Brock this year. Swings, hits a ground ball near second, fielded by Dick Green, who throws and gets him. 2 down. So Holtzman has now gotten the last 5 reds to hit the ball on the ground. Ken's given up 2 hits in 2 2/3. There's not a lot of walk, and he has 1 strikeout. And now he faces Bobby Tolan. Tolan bunted in the first inning and was safe on an error by Holtzman. Tolan 2 for 13 in the series. Left-hander working on left-hander. Pitch on the way. Bobby bluffs the bunt, takes a strike. 0-1. Bando in on the grass. Outfield shooting Tolan toward left. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Curve swung on and grounded toward first. It's a foul ball. Fielded across the line by Epstein. And the count 0-2. Bobby Tolan from Los Angeles came up with the Cardinals. Played in 2 World Series with St. Louis in 67 and 68. Then in the series with the Reds in 70. And so this is Bobby's 4th World Series. Missed all of last year. Twice torn Achilles tendon. 2 out, bases empty, no score, 3rd inning. The line by Holtzman and a strike 2 pitch on the way. Misses outside, ball 1. Bench on deck. Holtzman, feet apart, takes the sign from Tennis. The left-hander ready, and a 1-2 pitch on the way is grounded foul outside third. Down into the Oakland bullpen. A lot of room in foul territory here in Oakland. One of the ball girls getting a hand as she gets it back in. 2 out, bases empty. 1-2 pitch on the way is nubbed on the ground toward Bando at third. He cuts in front of Campaneris and throws him out. Nice play by Bando. Tolan fisting the ball as he got jammed and rolling it along the grass. Bando makes the play, and the Reds down 1-2-3 in the third. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. At the end of 2.5 it remains. Cincinnati nothing, Oakland nothing.
Hi, Johnny Bench for Anco windshield wipers. I wonder how many listeners remember the good old days before night games. As darkness fell, you could hardly see who was on first. Something like driving in a rainstorm with old streaky windshield wipers, which is the leadoff urging you to retire those old streakers and switch to new Anco wiper blades. Get them next time you gas up. The exact blades for your model car are in the bright yellow Anco cabinet you see in service stations everywhere. That's Anco wiper blade by Anderson.
Nothing comes back to doodle back, hey, nothing comes back to doodle back.
Some detergent, grease, salt, weather, turtle wax comes through because nothing comes through the turtle's hard shell finish. Shine your car to blinding brilliance in 25 minutes with turtle wax. Turtle wax. Turtle wax in liquid or paste. Anything else is mock turtle.
For now, Michael, Jim Simpson back in Oakland, California, last of the third of a scoreless ball game. And this note, if you need trained people to keep your business growing, hire veterans. When you hire veterans, you hire experience, practical working experience in dozens of fields, hundreds of specialties. Find out more. Contact your local office of the State Employment Service or the Veterans Administration. Don't forget, hire the vets. Well, now, Michael, it's the last time that Ken Holtzman was on the mound. This fellow stepping up to the plate now hit 2 home runs to win the ball game for us.
He was the big hero, Gene Tennis, in game number 1. First man in World Series history, the homer in his first 2 series trips to the plate. Gene Tennis, right-hand batter. And Johnny Bench, I think, complaining that Tennis was standing outside the batter's box, so a line is drawn with his bat by plate umpire Frank Humont. Tennis back foot on the line, takes down low from Don Gullett. 1-0. Tennis, Green, and Holtzman in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. In for a strike. Down even. Tennis 2 for 10 in the World Series. Both hits home runs, so he's 0 for 8 since his first 2 trips on Saturday. During the season, he hit 225. 5 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Gullett nods in agreement with Bench. To the plate, 1-1, and the pitcher's fouled back. 1-2. Tennis, 6-footer, 190-pounder from Ohio. 26 years old. Swings to the curve, grounds it to third. Minke fields on the second hop. His long throw in time. 1 away. Skip Green coming up. He is one of 3 athletics with 3 hits in the World Series. The others, Campaneris and Rudy. Green is 3 for 8. Pitch on the way. In for a strike. Dick with 2 hits in game 2 on Sunday. 1 hit last night. Right-hand batter who spent most of the season on the disabled list. Strike 1 pitch, swung on and missed. 0-2. Green missed over 2 months with a herniated disc. Came back in late August to 286 with no home runs, 3 runs batted in. Strike 2 pitch on the way. It is fouled off the mask of Bench. Count holding. Holtzman on deck. Reds nothing, A's nothing. Game 4 of the 1972 World Series. A's on top 2 games to 1. Bottom of the third. 1 out, bases empty. Gullett to the plate, 0-2, and Green swings and misses as he takes something off a fastball. Bench stops the ball, tags him out, and is 2 down. So Gullett gets his first strikeout. 2 down in the third inning, and up comes the pitcher, Ken Holtzman. Gullett during the regular season, 9-10 with a 3.93 earned run average. Don made 16 starts, 2 complete games, no shutouts. Struck out 96 in 135 innings, walked 43. Holtzman swings and misses, 0-1. Holtzman hit 178. No homers, 6 runs batted in. The other day in Cincinnati, 0 for 2. The next pitch just misses for a ball. 1-1. Holtzman, a right-hand batter. Outfield a shade toward right. Relatively shallow. Nobody on, 2 down. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Line to left field, but Rose is right there, and Pete makes the catch to his side to tie. So Holtzman hits it right on the money, but righted Rose, and the A's go down to the third. No runs, no hits, nobody left. At the end of 3 full, Cincinnati nothing, Oakland nothing.
Hey, are you one of those guys who turns into a roughneck every morning? Does shaving leave your neck rough and irritated? If it does, let me tell you about a special kind of Gillette Foamy. Face Saver, specially made for you roughnecks. Face Saver has 25% more lubricants than any other foamy shave cream. For better protection against shaving irritation, even on the most sensitive part of your face, your neck. So if shaving irritates your neck, get Foamy Face Saver for the roughneck.
Mike Moyer, Wethead. Mike Moyer, the dry lip. Roy Zuka, Wethead. Roy Zuka, the dry look.
With the dry look aerosol hair control, you look so much better you won't believe your ears. The Wethead is dead, and the dry look from Gillette did it. More men use it than any other aerosol.
Charlie Meisner, the dry look.
The dry look from Gillette.
back in Oakland. It's the fourth inning of a scoreless ball game, Game 4 of the World Series. Cincinnati wins tonight. That ensures that we go back to Cincinnati for a sixth game. Oakland wins tonight. It could end tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be on the air at 3:45 Eastern Time. And Al Michaels, as I recall, as we came on the air tonight, your pregame comments, you felt this is going to be a very high-scoring ball game. Well, it may be, but not through the first third of the game.
Not at all. We've had only 3 hits, 2 by the Reds, 1 by Bench, the other by McRae. 1 for the A's, a base hit by Sal Bando. And it looks like a rematch of last night's game, same type of game we had last night. Blue Moon Odom, Jack Billingham in control throughout. The Reds getting a run in the 7th, and that was enough. Johnny Bench singled in the first inning. Now has 4 hits in the World Series. He's 4 for 11. Outfield very deep. And swung over toward left. Holtzman to the plate. Misses outside, ball 1. Holtzman has set down 6 straight, all on ground balls. Perez on deck. McRae to follow. 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Tim Simpson mentioned at the beginning a very overcast day and early evening here in Oakland. Last night we had a big sun problem. The fellas couldn't see the ball the first 3, 4, 5 innings. But no problem tonight. The lights taking almost full effect. 2-0 pitch is grounded up the middle, base hit for Bench. So Johnny is on with his second hit of the game. He now has 5 in the World Series. Hendrick gets it back in. Third hit for the Reds in the game, and up comes Perez. Tony Perez came up with Stolen at third, Bench at first in the first inning, and struck out. In the World Series, he's 5 for 11. Perez from Cuba now makes his home in Puerto Rico. Hit .283 during the year with 21 home runs. 90 runs batted in. Bench at first, nobody out. Holtzman to the plate, and Perez pops it foul. Back out of play. 0-1. Perez has driven in 90 or more runs the last 6 years. And 90, a high figure this year for a man who hit behind the fellow who led the majors in runs batted in, Bench. Johnny with 125. Didn't leave Perez that many opportunities. Holtzman ready. Back he comes, and Perez has a drive to deep left center field. Hendrick back near the track, has room, and makes the catch. Dan Tucker's back to first, 1 away. So Perez flies out to deep left center. That's the longest drive in the 2 games here in Oakland.
And that's the biggest example, Al, of the fact that the weather here is very damp and the ball is not stirring at all. That was hit hard enough to get out of most ballparks. And Hendrick, when he caught that, what Al described as a deep drive, really was only about 350 feet away. The ball simply died.
1 away, McRae the batter. Singled in the second inning, making his first start in the World Series. Hal is 3 for 3 in the series. Swings at the broken back grounder to Campaneris. Goes to Green for 1, and that's all. McRae is safe to first. They might have had a chance to double play, but it looked like the ball started to roll up the arm of Campaneris. And he had to settle for just 1, getting it to Green in time for the 4th out. So Campy juggling, but holds on to get 1. Bench forced out at second. McRae on at first, and the batter is Dennis Menke, who grounded out in the second inning. Menke in the series, 1 for 10. Reds nothing, A's nothing. 2 out in the 4th inning. Holtzman set, works the plate. Fastball missing high, ball 1. 1-0. Menke in his first year with the Reds, part of the big trade with Houston. Made his major league debut with the Milwaukee Braves. Was with the club when they moved to Atlanta, then traded to Houston. 1-0 pitch on the way. He's lying right at Bando for the 3rd out. Menke lines outside, retired. No runs. 1 hit. The Reds lead a man. At the end of 3.5, Reds nothing, A's nothing.
Hi, this is Joe Garagio. Well, it's World Series time, and even people who aren't real fans start taking an interest in baseball. And that's because you're seeing the best. And when you see the best of anything, you've got to admire it. Like the new Dodge Charger. For the last few years, people have looked to Charger for the newest, the latest in automobile styling. And once again, in 1973, Charger hasn't disappointed them. Charger has the clean, smooth lines that you've come to expect. But this year, Charger has more. Charger has an electronic ignition system for sure starts.
Charger has torsion quite right to help keep out those annoying road noises. And Charger tops it all off by giving you a choice of 3 vinyl roof styles. That's right. There's a canopy vinyl roof, a halo vinyl roof, and a distinctive Charger SE vinyl roof. So if you want to see one of the best cars with plenty of family-sized room, see Dodge Charger at your nearby Dodge dealer.
Well, the drought goes on. A total of 5 runs scored in the first game of the World Series, 3 more in the second, and only 1 last night. That's 9 runs in the first 3 games. None here in the fourth game of the World Series. As we go to the last of the fourth, Oakland is up. Now it'll be the top of the batting order. Campaneris, Lou, and Rudy, and here's Al.
First, Campaneris grounded out in the first inning. Dillard made a nice play to get him. Campy in the series is 3 for 12. Right-hand batter. Good speed, good bunter. Mickey on the grass to third. Dillard to the plate. First pitch missing inside and low. Ball 1. Outfield is shallow. Dillard back to the plate. Campaneris grounds it wide at third. Backhanded by Mickey. Falls down, gets up, and throws him out. Great play by Denny. So Campaneris grounding one inside third, and Mickey backhanding the ball, went down, got up, and still got him. Strong arm. Lou, the batter, flied out of the first inning, takes inside ball 1. Matty is 1 for 11 in the World Series. Gillett back to the plate. Lou takes a breaking pitch outside, ball 2 to no. Gillett has not walked anybody, and this is one of the rare times he's been behind on the count. He has 1 strikeout. Don ready in the 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. 3-0. Joe Rudy is on deck. Here's a 3-0 pitch on the way. It's low, ball 4. So the A's have their second base runner. Matty Alou draws the walk. First walk in the game. And the batter is Joe Rudy. For 1, popped out in the first inning. 3 for 12 in the World Series. Outfield is still to his right. Menke is third, even with the bag. Hello at first. The message board is shorting him to go. Matty held on by Perez. Dillard Stratt is set to first. Comes to the plate, and the pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Don has a good motion to first. That time he had Lou going back toward the bag as he delivered to the plate. Not an easy man to steal on. 0-1 the count. And on deck. Cincinnati nothing, Oakland nothing in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out, Lou at first base. Dillard Stratt, a check to the runner, and a strike 1 pitch is lifted foul off to the right. Back out of play. 0-2. Tomorrow, game number 5, airtime 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:45 Pacific Time. Catfish Hunter will be the ace pitcher, and probably Jim McLaughlin for the Reds. Sparky Anderson will announce officially the starter after tonight's game. Strike 2 pitch on the way is high and away, ball 1. 1-2. The Reds, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The A's, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Dillard with a sign from Bench. Down at the bell, they glance to first, and the next pitch is high. Bench throws to first, and the ball gets by Perez and rolls down the line. Lou will go to second. So Bench tries to pick Lou off first base, and the ball gets away from Perez, and we'll see who they give the error to. second. One out. And the count on Rudy is 2-2. 2-2 to count. Dillard set, a look back, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Way outside. Backhanded by Banks, ball 3. So Dillard gets quickly ahead. No balls, 2 strikes on Rudy, and now he runs the string out. 3-2 with Bando waiting next. No score, 4th inning. 1 out. And Lewis second. Rudy just now climbing back into the very closed stand. Dillard with a sign, the stretch, and the 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, strike 3. John Dillard gets his second strikeout, retiring Rudy here in the 4th inning for the second out. And up comes Sal Bando. They're going to walk Bando intentionally to find his slump. Sal a base hit in the second inning, and instead of fooling around with Bando, they will work instead to the left-hand batting Epstein. So Bando will be walked intentionally to put Sal at first with Lewis second.
It's also an indication that both managers are saying 1 run will win any one of these ball games. They're not getting a lot of runs. Here it is just the last of the 4th inning, and they're putting another runner on base. They just don't want Bando to drive in 1 run.
This series is sort of ironic to this point, Jim, because the Reds known as the Big Red Machine in 1970, and this was version number 2 in 72. And when you thought of the Oakland A's in the American League, you thought of a lot of offense this year, but it has been anything but an offensive World Series. Epstein, the batter, lined out in the second inning. Broke his bat and hit a putback liner to Morgan. He is hitless in the series, 0 for 8. Mike with 26 homers during the regular season, 70 runs batted in. Matty Lewis second, Sal Bando at first. 2 out in the 4th inning. No score. Dillard stepping off the rubber, wants a new set of signs from Banks. The left-hander checking. Now the stretch. And the pitch to Epstein, low, ball 1. 1-0. The Reds have had 1 threat in the 1st inning. This is the first time in the game that the A's have threatened. 1-0 pitch on the way is popped foul out of play. 1-1. Epstein, originally up with Baltimore, then played with Washington. Mike in his second year with the A's. Hendrick on deck. 1-1 on the way. Inside nearly nicked him. Ball 2. 2-1. Dillard now taking more time between pitches as he tries to work out of trouble in the 4th. The left-hander on the rubber. The stretch, to look back at second, and the 2-1 pitch on the way is grounded up the middle slowly, fielded by Concepcion, throws and gets him. The Red shortstop went to the right field side of second and makes a fine play to get Epstein. And the only way the Reds could get the A's in that inning, get out of the inning on that particular play, was for a runner like Epstein to be moving down the line. Concepcion had the time and made a fine play to get him. So the A's out in the 4th inning, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error, 2 runners left on. At the end of 4, Cincinnati nothing, Oakland nothing.
This is Milo Hamilton. I call the play-by-play for the Atlanta Braves, and I do the radio commercials for Delta, the official airline of the Braves. When I talk about Delta, well, I speak from experience. Last month, I flew more than 16,000 miles on Delta. It was a rugged schedule, but the Delta people made it as smooth as anyone could ask for. Delta is an airline run by professionals, 24,000 professionals. Each highly skilled individual knows his job and gives it his best. That goes for the reservationist who confirms your space by Deltamatic computer in 3 seconds, right onto the baggage handler who delivers your bags in an average time of 7 minutes after you land. It's what Delta calls total service. I'd like to recommend Delta Airlines to you. And I have one other suggestion for people who travel, the American Express Money Card. You can even extend payment for your Delta tickets on the sign and fly plan. You're always ready to go with an American Express Money Card.
And Delta is ready when you are.
Back in Oakland, California, in this drought of runs, there have only been 5 extra base hits in the entire World Series. 3 by Oakland, 2 by Cincinnati. It's 0-0. It's the 5th inning, and Concepcion is the batter, and here's Al.
Dave Concepcion grounded out in the 2nd inning. Takes the strike. 0-1. Dullard on deck, and then Rose, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. No score in the 5th. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Outside, 1-1. This is Al Michaels with Jim Simpson. We'll be with you tomorrow. 3:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 12:45 on the coast. Game number 5. 1-1 pitch, missing low, ball 2. 2-1. 3 hits for the Reds. Bench has 2 singles. McRae the other. The A's with 1 hit. Bando a right field single in the 2nd inning. 2-1 on the way. Is grounded to short. Campaneris up with it. Throws to first, and 1 shortstop gets the other. Don Gullett coming up. The Reds the last couple of nights have been giving the pitcher the opportunity to get some more rest in the dugout. Rose has actually come out on deck into the circle where the number 8 man hitting. And again, this is the case as Pete came out with Concepcion hitting and occupied the spot in the on-deck circle as Gullett waited in the dugout. Don grounded out in the 2nd inning. Right-hand batter, the outfield around toward right. Gullett around the bunt takes down low, ball 1. Gullett hit .211 during the year. 3 runs batted in. 8 for 38. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Hendricks backs up a couple of steps and then makes the catch. 2 down. Holtzman has now retired 5 straight and 11 of the last 12. And up comes Pete Rose. Pete Rose grounded out in the 1st inning and then tried to bunt and was thrown out by Tennis in the 3rd. 0 for 2 and 1 for 13 in the World Series. Game moving along quickly. We have played less than an hour. 5th inning, 2 out, bases empty. Pitch on the way, down low, ball 1. By the way, tonight for the first time since Sunday, both teams able to take batting practice, but you'd never know it. One and over the count. Holtzman ready. Back to the plate he comes, and Rose takes down low, ball 2. 2-0. Morgan on deck. Holtzman, excellent control tonight. Been ahead on almost everybody. No walks. 1 strikeout. 2-0 pitch. Lifted in the air to right field toward the line. Alou racing over and moving back on the warning track. Makes the catch. Fine play. Alou had a long way to go, and the ball hung, and he was able to make the catch on the run near the track in deep right field toward the line. So Rose gone. Reds out in the 5th. No runs, no hits. Nobody left at the end of 4 1/2. No score.
Hi, Johnny Bench, not catching, but pitching for ANCO windshield wipers. Do you know who holds the Major League record for most strikeouts? Brace yourself. It is Mickey Mantle with 1,710. Of course, Mickey also hit 536 home runs, which makes up for those strikeouts. That's where batters differ from windshield wipers. Wipers should bat 1,000 every time. In bad weather, snow or rain, your life or your family's life may depend on them. If your wipers are streaking or blurring, they're striking out, and you had better bring on some new heavy hitters, like a new set of ANCO windshield wiper blades, and you'll see the difference the first time they come up for action. ANCO blades are made of pure rubber, and they're engineered especially for your car's windshield. You can get ANCO blades or refills at most service stations everywhere. Just look for the bright yellow ANCO service cabinet. It holds a complete lineup of ANCO wipers for every car. The imports, too. But be sure you're getting ANCO windshield wipers. The Big League blade by Anderson.
Through 4 1/2 innings. The Reds no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. The A's no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. the Oakland Athletics coming up in the bottom of the fifth inning. And for the play-by-play the rest of the way, here's Jim Simpson.
Thanks, Al Michaels. The A's in the fourth inning had last got a man as far as second base. That was on a walk and an error. Whereas back in the first inning, Cincinnati got a man as far as third base. Nobody has scored. Here's George Hendrick, last time up. Hit the ball very sharply to Concepcion at shortstop, who turned it into a double play. Hit this one, popped it up to the right side. Joe Morgan, the second baseman, back on the grass, waving off everybody, and that's a quick out for Don Gullett in the Oakland fifth. Gene Tennis, the catcher. And we'll remind you again that the only two hits that Tennis has had throughout this series, the first two times at bat in the World Series, first game of the series, he homered. Once with the man on, and his second home run won the ball game for Ken Holtzman, tonight's A's pitcher. One out, and the scoreless Oakland fifth. Hits this one a long way to left field down the line. Overlooking up. It is good. Home run. Tennis. 1-0 Oakland. Lucasville, Ohio. Jerry Gene Tennis has hit his third World Series home run in game number 4 and put Oakland out in front 1-0. Here's Dick Green, who struck out, lifts the ball to right field, over comes Hal McRae, waiting for it in rather deep right field as Green goes the other way, and they're 2 out. Everything that has happened with dramatic suddenness. On the first pitch, Hendrick popped out. On the first pitch, Tennis homered. On the first pitch, Green flies to right. 1-0, and here comes Ken Holtzman, who last time up in the third, line to Pete Rose in left field. The way things have been going throughout this World Series, the margin has always been by 1 run. 3-2, 2-1, and last night 1-0. Gullett throws hard. Fastball misses outside. Pedro Bourbon, sinker ball pitcher, up and throwing, right-hander in the Cincinnati bullpen. 1-0, fastball stays down low. It is 2-0 now to the pitcher, Ken Holtzman. Gullett, as Al Michaels has told you, has been working on a curveball all year, but he is really a hard thrower, and Tennis just connected with a fastball out over the plate and pulled it foul down the line. Down the line is 330. And that was the home run. 2-0 to Holtzman. He swings and grounds it to Concepcion at shortstop. Up with it, and Dave throws on to Tony Perez, and the inning is quickly over. But the A's have gone out in front on the home run by Gene Tennis. That's the only hit. No errors, none left. At the end of 5, Oakland 1, Cincinnati 0.
You use a safety razor. The barber uses a straight razor. Daniel Boone, I guess, used a sharp knife. But no matter how you slice it, it's still the same. One blade. And that is the way it has always been. Until Gillette discovered that 2 blades are better than 1. And they made the Track 2 razor. The Track 2 has 2 blades, one behind the other, and they work as a pair. The first blade comes along, it cuts into a whisker, and it lifts it partway out of its socket. Now, before that little cut-off whisker stump can spring all the way back, the second blade comes along and can cut it again, even shorter. You see? Now, of course, there is just no way that anybody's one-blade razor can do that. The Track 2 razor. Gillette made it 1 blade better.
Oakland 1, Cincinnati 0. And before we go to the 6th inning, we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
KGW Portland.
There's still a place you can take your family where a lot of fun and good food doesn't cost a lot of money. Where Mom and Dad can relax, the kids can be themselves, and a whole family of 4 can eat for under $4. So come on down to McDonald's and enjoy yourself, our food and our prices.
Ken Holtzman loosening up for the Oakland A's. He has a 1-0 lead on Gene Tennis's 5th inning home run. And Tennis has 5 home runs during the regular season. Incredibly enough, in 3.5 games in the World Series, he's hit 3, and all of them have been big. We go to the sixth inning. It'll be Morgan, Tolan, and bench for the Reds. Here again is Jim Simpson.
Now, one more word about Gene Tennis. The last player to hit 3 home runs in one series, Don Clendenin for the Mets in 1969, and this one is not over yet. Well, we said at the outset, that's back on Saturday in Cincinnati, that if the underdog A's were to beat the Cincinnati Reds, the key probably would be the left-handers and how they handle the first 3 men up in the batting order before pitching around perhaps Johnny Bench. Well, Bench has now led off 8 times in the series, and Rose, Morgan, and Tolan between them have not scored or driven in a run. And the A's lead 2-1 and lead 1-0 in this, the 4th game. Morgan is 0 for 2, twice has hit the first pitch. One fly to left, another time grounded. He's been swinging on first pitch, does again, pops it up foul, but it's out of play and back of home plate. So Joe Morgan has had it in his head tonight to go up and swing away at the first pitch. On deck is Bobby Tolan. Temperature dipping into the mid-50s. If anything, perhaps it's clear just a little bit, but we can see no stars. Overcast in Oakland, inside pitch. Morgan jumps out and away from the pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bando in on the grass. Reds trying to get their game going again. Their very aggressive base-running game, looking for a long ball. They haven't had any. Swinging a miss on a good Holtzman fastball. Holtzman has the good curveball, and if he's got it in the strike zone, can really intimidate you with his fastball. Matter of fact, when he pitched a no-hitter against the Cincinnati Reds while the Chicago Cubs, the last 5 innings, he only used 2 curveballs. Such was his fastball. Back again with a change, breaking pitch, and it's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holtzman does not have the exceptional fastball, but you'd better respect it if you're looking for the breaking pitch. 2-2. Holtzman, the left-hander, ready, throws the fastball, and it is off foul down the third baseline, and Kangaroos into the stands just behind the Oakland dugout. Still 2-2 to Morgan, the leadoff batter, and the Cincinnati 6. 1-0 on the Gene Tennis home run in the last of the 5th. Both left-handers tonight, both with similar minor league experiences. Don Geller pitched only 11 games in the minors, Ken Holtzman 12. Hit off the 5th, down to second base. Dick Green down to one knee, and has Morgan, who is now 0 for 13 in the series, out again. Bobby Tolan has been up twice tonight, reached on an error by Epstein, the first baseman, and then was jammed on a pitch and grounded to Bando at third in the 3rd inning. Rose, Morgan, and Tolan all year long got on to bring up Johnny Bench so he could lead the league in RBIs. Ground ball past the glove of Holtzman. Campaneris back to shortstop, fires, has Tolan by plenty. 4 or 5 steps, 2 out. And Johnny Bench, who has 5 hits in 12 attempts. He went the other way with a fastball in the first inning, singled, and later stole second base, an uncontested steal, as Tolan was already at third base, and then he hit the curveball up the middle for a base hit in the 4th and was erased on a force out. So Bench tonight, 2 for 2 after going 0 for 4 last night, being called out on strikes the last 3 times up. Big right-hander hits this one, and he may have his third. The Lou charges out in the outfield and makes his second remarkable catch of the night. Before he left deep to rob Pete Rose to end the 5th. Now he charges toward right center to rob Johnny Bench to end the 6th. So one hits to errors. We go to the last of the 6th. It is Oakland 1, Cincinnati 0.
Hi, this is Joe Garagio. Yes, sir, it's World Series time, and that's the time when managers depend on the players to put out extra effort and performance. And like a manager, you want dependable performance from your car, like the performance you'll find in the big Dodge. You see, Dodge Polara gives dependable performance with Dodge's new electronic ignition system that delivers up to 35% more starting voltage. There's also the dependable performance you'll get from an electronic voltage regulator, which gives you longer battery life by making sure the battery is neither over nor undercharged. And then there's the smooth ride and handling you'll get with the big Dodge's Torsion Quiet Ride. It's a result of torsion bars and leaf springs for control and rubber isolators and sound deadening material for a quiet ride. And it won't cost you anything extra to put Dodge dependability on your car. These features are standard on all the big Dodge models this year. See them today at the Dodge dealer near you.
If you like collecting things, why not try something with a sure payoff? United States Savings Bonds. You can buy bonds right now through the payroll savings plan. It's easy, painless, and it's sure. A few dollars out of each paycheck soon adds up to a lot. And along with your nest egg, you'll collect peace of mind. Start buying U.S. savings bonds now. Join payroll savings.
Cappy Campaneris will lead off the Oakland sixth. He is 3 for 13 in the series, 0 for 2 tonight. Right-handed batter, the left-handed Gullet throws, and it's ball one. In the first inning, Campaneris grounded to the left side of the mound. Gullet was overslipped, but still managed to throw him out, and Menke made a fine fielding play on him, backhanding his line shot in the fourth to throw him out. Menke's in on the grass now. Drive, deep left field, rolls over, going toward the line, near the warning track, and in foul territory, has it for the out. About 320 feet away, and it's 330 down the line. Campaneris is 0 for 3, and here comes Matty Alou, who has really saved the Reds tonight with a straight running catch against the wall on Rose in the fifth, and charging the low liner Johnny Bench to end the sixth. Alou is up. He is 0 for 1. He has walked once, takes a pitch that hops away from Johnny Bench. In the first inning, Alou hit a sinking line drive that Pete Rose made a dandy catch on, running toward the infield. And then on 4 pitches in the fourth, Alou drew his walk out as far as second base on the error by Perez. 1-0 to score. Last of the sixth inning. Alou grounds it on one hop to Menke, who's in on the grass at third, and he has got Matty by nearly half the distance to first base. That'll bring up Joe Rudy, jammed in the first and popped to Concepcion at short. Had an 0-2 count on him in the fourth, worked at the 3-2, and then struck out swinging at a Don Gullet fastball. Joe, as Al has been telling you, a .305 hitter during the regular season. He is 3 for 13, had the game-winning home run in the second game at Cincinnati on Saturday. Right-handed batter with that closed stance, and they play him to hit to right center, which Rudy very often does. Great power to right center field. Don Gullet ready, Menke in on the grass, the pitch is down low. 1 ball to Joe Rudy. 1-0 to score in the last of the sixth. Al and I and everybody that follows these World Series keeps waiting for the big outbreak of scoring. Haven't seen it yet. Fastball grounded foul back toward a row of photographers off to the right and then back of home plate. 1-1. Around the hotel lobbies today, you can hear people saying, well, I say it'll be 10-4 tonight. Somebody's got to get to Holtzman. Or Gullet did not pitch well in the playoffs. Somebody's going to crack. Nobody has, and here we are in the last of the sixth in the 1-0 ball game. 1-1. Gullet again ready, has a new ball, throws, and this pitch is down low. 2-1 to Rudy. With Sal Bando on deck. Rudy lives in Modesto, California. He is a Californian. 26 years old. Lines this one past Concepcion at shortstop. Base hit for Rudy. His fourth of the series, and the third tonight off Don Gullet. And that'll bring up Bando. Went the other way with a Gullet fastball, single right field in the second, was walked intentionally in the fourth with Alou down on second base. Bando's hits in his last 40 times at bat have all been singles. And yet during the regular season, he hit 15 home runs. They swing around for Bando, a full hitter. Swing to the left. Gullet working from the stretch now, staring over at Rudy at first base, and throws a fastball and is popped up foul and out of play off to the right. Strike 1 to Bando. 2 out in the Oakland sixth. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll keep repeating it for you, because wherever you are in this country, around the world, you'll have to think and check your clocks accordingly. 3:45 Eastern Standard Time, our broadcast time tomorrow. That's 12:45 Pacific Time. Gullet's fastball took something off of it as a strike at the knees of Sal Bando, and Bando is behind 0-2 to Don Gullet. The young 21-year-old left-hander from Lynn, Kentucky, where his athletic prowess in all sports is legend already. Gullet steps, throws a good fastball, but it's too high, doesn't get the call from Frank Umont, the American League umpire behind home plate, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Dean Tennis home run in the fifth inning, the only run of this ball game. The A's lead it 1-0. They would love to go in front. 3 games to 1 and perhaps wrap it up tomorrow. Cincinnati's determined to take this thing back to Cincinnati for games on Saturday and possibly Sunday. Look out, high inside fastball has Rudy going to the dirt. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Joe Rudy buff white pants are not so white anymore as he took a seat in the dirt. I think I said Rudy. That is Vando. Rudy's down at first base. 2-2. Throws a good fastball up high, and it is 3-2 to Vando. The fans have had to find their moments in this World Series in which to cheer. There haven't been too many fireworks, and they're looking for them now. And there's the pitch round to the left side. Concepcion on the center of the glove. Stopping at second base is Rudy. Vando is on with a base hit. And with 2 out, Mike Epstein comes up. That is the 4th base hit for the A's. Rudy is down at second. Vando at first. There are 2 out, and Epstein, who broke his bat lining to Morgan in the second, and then grounded the shortstop in the 4th. Matter of fact, Concepcion made a fine play on him in the 4th inning to end the threat there, going over to the first base side of second base. 1-0 the A's, and they're looking for more with 2 out, and Epstein swings at a pitch in under the hand. It's strike 1. Epstein now is 0 for 9 in the World Series. And stretching back into the final playoff game, he's much worse off than that in the batting average. Did have a home run in the 4th playoff game. Breaking pitch thrown from Gallard, and Epstein wasn't looking for it. It's strike 2. Matter of fact, in that 4th game of the American League playoffs up in Detroit, with it 1-0 Detroit, Epstein hit the home run to tie it up. 2 strikes, hits the drive to right field. Al McRae goes over to his left and takes it, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits. Rudy's left at second, Vando at first, and at the end of 6, it's still Oakland 1 and Cincinnati nothing.
Smith's Home Furnishings reaches a milestone. This weekend marks their 1,000th weekend special with sale values all week long. For example, you'll find Zenith Giant Screen 19-inch diagonal measure portable TV with Space Command remote control for only $168. Black and white Zenith TVs priced from $88 at Smith's. Zenith 23-inch diagonal measure console color TV and contemporary walnut cabinet, only $488 during Smith's 1,000th weekend special. Smith's, Southeast 30th and Division. Open weeknights till 9, Saturdays till 6. People who don't eat it, drink it. Folks got on a diet, try it. You don't have to give up good taste to save on calories. Diet Right Cola tastes so good, everybody likes it.
Everybody likes it. Everybody likes it. Diet Right Cola. Everybody likes it. And you know why? 'Cause it tastes so good. Everybody likes it.
With Jim Simpson, this is Al Michaels at the Oakland Coliseum. Game 4, 1972 World Series. Oakland trying to take a 3-1 lead. They lead here in Game 4. It is 1-0 A's on a home run by Gene Tenace. We go to the 7th. Perez leads off for the Reds. Here again is Joe.
They really want this game. Al down in the Oakland bullpen as this inning is about to begin. Vida Blue and Raleigh Fingers are up and throwing. And if Holtzman gets in just that much trouble, you'll see them go to the bullpen. Tony Perez leads it off. He is 0 for 2. Struck out swinging at a fastball in the first inning and sent Hendrick rather deep in left center field to retire him in the 4th. Drive to right field down the line, and it is fair ball. Perez stops at first base. Epstein went down the line. Alou was pulled around for Perez and had no chance. But the ball just died right there in the very soggy field, and Perez, the potential tying run, is on with a Texas League single to right field. That's the 4th hit. Al McRae, who in his World Series career, and that takes him the series back in 1970 when the Big Red Machine was really rolling, is now 8 for 15 in World Series play. McRae, as Al said, considers himself the offensive player. Takes the ball and fouls it off to the right side. Out of play. a return throw by the umpire, and quickly Elon signals to everybody aboard that was my throw, not the throw of the catcher, Gene Tennis, so no play. Matter of fact, Bill Haller, the American League umpire down at second base, retrieved the ball. One strike now to the right-handed Hal McRae in this 1-0 ball game. Oakland leads it. We are in the 7th. Bando even with the bag at third and guarding the line. McRae takes the pitch inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. It is at this stage of the ball game that third baseman will start moving towards third base and the line to take away the extra base hit, putting a big hole between third and shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Perez not particularly fast on at first base. He's the man that fell down last night. Pitch is hit high in the air, in the infield. Campaneris runs in on the grass, waves everybody away. And in front of second base has it for the first out. That'll bring up Menke. Menke, the record will show, is 1 for 11. But remember, on Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati, Joe Rudy took an extra base hit away from him in the 9th inning, a great catch. And then in the 4th inning here, Menke tonight lashed the ball that Bando hauled in, a sharp line drive. But still he is 1 for 11. Comes up now with Perez over at first base and 1 out. Menke, the right-hander, steps in. Vida Blue and Raleigh Fingers continues to throw. In the Oakland bullpen, Holtzman throws. Ground ball right back to Holtzman. Goes to second base to Green. Green gets the ball out of his glove and goes on double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We go to the last of the 7th before a jubilant crowd. Oakland 1, Cincinnati nothing.
Hello, Johnny Bench here for Anco Windshield Wipers. You know, when a manager sees his pitcher in trouble, he has to make the big decision whether to relieve him or stay with him. With windshield wipers, you don't have that problem. The minute they start streaking your windshield, bench them. They'll never get better. You can't afford to risk driving with blurred vision, not with your life depending on it. Replace those old wipers with new Anco wiper blades. Just look for the first service station where you see the big yellow Anco wiper cabinet. You'll be the winner when you put Anco wiper blades by Anderson on your team.
Have you ever seen a gas tank for a 1973 car? It's not much different from the old ones, but the car it comes in is different. So this year, the owner's manuals for almost all of the new cars are recommending a low-octane fuel like Gulftane. It has the performance additive package you'd expect from Gulf, and the price is right, too. Costs even less than Gulf Regular. So fill up your new tank with Gulftane, the low-cost gasoline for new cars. 441.
Kent Holtzman and Gene Tennis were the big story on Saturday in Game 1, and so far they have been the whole story in Game 4. Holtzman a shutout through 7. Tennis a home run, his third of the series. He hit it in the 5th inning. A's lead 1-0. Bottom of the 7th. For more play-by-play, Jim Simpson.
All right, Al, and Vida Blue and Raleigh Fingers continue to warm up even though the A's are at bat. Holtzman is due up 4th in this inning, and if they have something going, it might be that Dick Williams will bat for him. 1-0 the game. Here is Hendricks, who is grounded out into a double play and popped up last time up. He's 0 for 2 and takes the first pitch down low from Don Gullett. Well, as in the case of last night's pitch, Jack Billingham and John Blue Moon Odom, both of them doing an exceptional job. Fouled out a play by Hendricks. But as you well know, somebody's going to lose the ball game. And on a play in which Perez fell down last night, and because of the roar of the crowd, no one really threw the relay home for any opportunity they had to get him. It was Billingham and the Reds who won that game 1-0. Now Tennis's home run has put Holtzman and the A's out in front 1-0. This off-speed pitch is down low. 2 balls, 1 strike to George Hendricks. On deck, Gene Tennis, who last time up hit his 3rd Major League home run. Gullett back, throws the fastball, foul back to the screen. During the season of those 5 home runs that Gene Tennis hit, 2 of them were here in Oakland, 3 on the road. In the World Series, he is 1 here in Oakland and 2 on the road. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-handed Hendricks with a closed stance and swings and misses at a very good Don Gullett fastball. Strikeout number 3 for Gullett. And here comes Tennis. Tennis grounded to third in the 3rd inning, but hit that first pitch of fastball out over the plate in the 5th inning. Pulled it down the left field line and over the fence about 335 feet away. Swings on the first pitch here, but it's a good Gullett fastball, and he fouls it out of play off to the right. 1 out on the 7th. Oakland leading 2 games to 1, leads in this the 4th game 1-0. Each team has 4 hits. Each team has committed an error. Gillett is ready. Throws the pass. Well, looks like a breaking pitch there. Caught the inside of the plate. 2 strikes. Looks like he cut the fastball. More in on the right-hander center. Got it back again, and this one stays outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nick Green wandering around behind home plate, near the on-deck circle, but he is not in it, swinging the bat. Gillett ready. Pitches down low. 2-2 now to Tennis. They have learned to play steamboat tennis, as he is called, around to the left. He has pulled 3 home runs in this series and swings at a breaking pitch there and strikes out. Strikeout number 4 in the second in this 7th inning, and here's Dick Green. Dick struck out swinging at an off-speed pitch in the 3rd, and then on the first pitch he saw in the 5th, he flied to Al McRae out in right field. Came into the ball game hitting .375. He is now 3 for 10, so he's hitting an even .300 in the World Series. Breaking pitch again catches the inside corner, and Green gives Frank Dumont the stare. It's strike 1. Menke at third base is in even with the bag. And they're playing Green straight away, not too deep. Another breaking pitch, but it's low and inside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Green with those first 2 pitches has not seen the good Don Gillett fastball yet. Gillett is ready. He throws the fastball. It's lined inside the line. Menke was pulled off the line. Over quickly is Pete Rose. And going towards second base is Green. The throw is there. He is in safe for double. Looking for the good Gillett fastball. Green got it and pulled it inside the line. Menke was off the line, not guarding the line at all, and it's a double. And Ken Holtzman, the scheduled hitter, enters walking toward home plate. Holtzman has lined to left and grounded to short. Up in this 1-0 ball game, had 6 RBIs throughout the year, looking for the biggest perhaps of his career here. If he can get himself an insurance run. Green not particularly fast. Down at second base. But he'll be running, if anything at all is hit, with 2 outs. There's the ground ball foul at the plate. Strike 1 to Ken Holtzman. Then the last of the 7th, and the ball game is not yet an hour and a half old. Strange about World Series games. As the weather crisps up and gets a little bit colder, they're played an awful lot quicker on the average than those played through the hot summer months. 1 strike to Holtzman. Fastball is inside. Holtzman raises the bat, arches his back, jackknives out of the way. It's 1-1. Irv Nolan, third base coach, looking down to Green at second. Flashing signs to Green. Gillett ready. The crowd here at Oakland hoping. And as the ball popped up to the infield. This is Menke at third base. He's in on the grass now. As Green rounds third and heads for home, Menke puts away Holtzman's little pop-up. No runs, 1 hit, a double by Green, no errors, and Green left on base. At the end of 7, it's still Oakland 1, Cincinnati nothing.
With me in the studio is Peter Barnes, one of the world's fastest-talking announcers. He will attempt to tell you all the many features of Delta's total service in less than 1 minute. Ready, Pete?
Reservations confirmed in 3 seconds by Deltamatic computer. Instant printing of ticket by computer. Fares quoted are totally accurate. Tickets will be mailed to you if you wish. Curbside baggage check-in at airport. No extra charge for golf clubs or other sports equipment. Passenger service agents keep lines short at ticket counters. Comfortable waiting lounges. Covered jetways in most cities let you board your plane in any weather. A great fleet of 180 jets, including the wide-ride 747 and next the DC-10. Frequent flights to 99 cities in the Western Hemisphere. Superb meals on breakfast, lunch, and dinner flights. First-rate service every step of the way by the Delta professionals. Speedy baggage delivery when you land. Average time 7 minutes. Delta dream vacations at low package price.
Sorry, Pete, time's up, and you've just begun to cover Delta's total service. Why, you didn't even mention that people can charge their Delta tickets on the American Express Money Card and extend payments for airfare with the American Express Money Card sign and fly plan. Well, friends, for more information and reservations, call Delta or your travel agent. Delta is ready when you are.
End of 7, it's 1-0 Oakland, and before the Reds come up, in inning number 8, we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
KGW, Portland. While we take a break from the World Series, Portland General Electric Company has a suggestion on how to save electricity and money in your home. Just ask your nearest PGE office for a new 12-page Watt Watchers guide. It's free, and it's packed with tips on how to conserve energy in every room of the house. Get your free Watt Watchers guide from PGE today. You'll save electricity and money. Electricity does so many good things for you. You don't want to waste it.
The attendance tonight at the Oakland Coliseum, same as last night, 49,410. And they're watching Ken Holtzman in his attempt to give the A's their 3-1 lead in the World Series. Blue and Fingers loosening up in the bullpen. The Reds will send up Concepcion, then a pinch hitter Julian Javier, and Pete Rose, 8th inning. Here again is Jim Simpson.
Al, I remember our discussion last night of the 1-0 ball game. We called it a very bizarre game because there were so many things that happened in that ball game. Some of them very weird and strange. Tonight, there's been nothing weird, nothing strange, just a home run by Gene Tennis and excellent pitching. And it's 1-0. Concepcion is 0 for 2, right-handed batter, and as Al said, Javier's on deck. The breaking pitch, the curveball, and that's what we said at the outset. If Holtzman gets the curveball over, he is tough. And he's gotten it over consistently tonight. And he started Concepcion out with the curveball. Bando guarding that line at third base. Comes back with another breaking pitch. It's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pedro Bourbon has gotten up to start throwing again, but a left-hander's joined in, the Blazer, called Tom Hall. 1-1. There's the ball. Grounded toward Bando. Into the hole goes Campaneris. A long throw to first base. Safe. Bando guarding the line to take away the extra base hit. Would have had that playing a normal third base. But he was guarding the line. Campaneris had to go deep into the hole, and his long throw did not get the speedy Concepcion. And now Javier comes up. The old line, you played a tie on the road and win at home, and with Rose due up next, you would imagine now, Michael, that Javier's up there to do one thing, and that's to bunt him over.
Get the man to second, and then the fellas, the 1-2-3 hitters have to start producing. Otherwise, the Reds are in trouble. They've been in.
Raleigh Fingers is warming up, but rather what they're going to do depending upon where the ball is bunted. Who is going to cover what? That is the 5th base hit of Ken Holtzman. Now we note, Al leans over and tells me we have a defensive replacement in at first base. Mike Hegan has gone in to replace Mike Epstein. There's the bunt down the third baseline. Bando will have to go to first, throws to Hegan, and there's the out. And now they got him off second base, but they bluff him back. Actually, the runner Concepcion had round at second base, but the man guarding him was ahead of him toward third base. So it was Concepcion nearer to the bag. So Hegan simply ran him back there. Good sacrifice bunt by Javier. And now Pete Rose, who is 1 for 14, has driven in no run in this series at all, nor has he scored a run in this series. With 1 out, has a chance to drive in Concepcion, who has good speed. Drive him in from second base. 1-0 to score. Rose, a switch hitter, around to the right side for Holtzman, who's handled him 3 times in a row tonight, but Alou made a great catch on him in the 5th against the wall in right field. Blue and Locker, or rather Blue and Fingers, are looking in to watch Holtzman's working on Rose, and the first pitch is too low. Ball 1. On deck is Joe Morgan. So that infield now is Hegan at first, Green at second, Campaneris at short, Bando at third, Rudy at left, Hendrick in center, Alou at right, Tennis behind the plate, and with a 1-0 count, Holtzman ready to throw to Pete Rose. Kickoff play down to second base, back in plenty of time. Did not even need to slide, was Concepcion. 1-0. On deck is Joe Morgan. So that infield now is Hegan at first, Green at second, Campaneris at short, Bando at third, Rudy at left, Hendrick in center, Alou at right, Tennis behind the plate, and with a 1-0 count, Holtzman ready to throw to Pete Rose. Kickoff play down to second base, back in plenty of time. Did not even need to slide, was Concepcion. 1-0. 49,410 looking on as last night. The score tonight is 1-0 as it was last night. Only the other team is leading tonight. It's Oakland with Cincinnati trying to come back. Pitch to Rose is outside. It is 2-0 to the dangerous Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose. And Bando comes over to say something to Holtzman at the mound. Blue and Fingers continue their warm-up. The left-hander continues to throw in the Cincinnati bullpen. Bando still guarding that line at third base. 2-0 the count. Holtzman back, right up the middle, off the glove of Holtzman. Green comes over, side on to first base. The Hegan, there's one out, and the runner, Concepcion, goes to third. That out is actually 1-4-3 as the ball went off the glove of Ken Holtzman. And advancing to third base is Concepcion. And now Dick Williams is going to come out. Al, you have watched Cincinnati all year long. Here's Joe Morgan due up. He is 0 for 13. The tying run is at third base. So a ground ball, a fly ball can't bring him in. That brings up the subject of squeeze play. How often is it used by Cincinnati?
It's used probably with as great a frequency as with any other club in the National League anyway. I can't speak for the American League this season, but I don't know. In this particular case, Morgan 0 for 13, in a slump of late. Definite possibility, and certainly that's one of the things being talked about in addition to a pitching change. He wants Vida Blue to come in to face Morgan. So that's odd, as Vida Blue will make his way in. Holtzman coming out. Blue is stopping. And then says, did you really want me? And Dick said, yeah.
Well, Joe Morgan snapped his head back and looked up to the sky when he saw that Vida Blue was coming in. As Don Gullett is the fastest man on the Cincinnati pitching staff with the finest fastball, so is Vida Blue. Owned the finest fastball in the Oakland setup and one of the 2 or 3 finest fastballs in the entire American League. So Vida Blue, who was not effective last night when he came on, but has been effective, comes on in the first World Series game, saving it for Holtzman, and in the final playoff game, saving that for Odom. The handy here, of course, is for Ken Holtzman, who is now left. Can't lose the game, but that's not the concern of Holtzman. They simply want to win for the team. So far, he has given up no run. Of course, should Concepcion score, that run will be charged to Holtzman. 5 hits and a struck out 1 and walked nobody.
Vida Blue, and of course it was stated by Williams a few days ago he would not start. He come out of the bullpen as he did in the playoffs. He was so valuable in that role. The A's going with 3 starters in the World Series. Holtzman and then Hunter will work tomorrow, and then if we go to Saturday, we'll see about Blue Moon Odom coming back. Then Dick Williams has to decide whether he wants to bring Odom back with a couple of days rest, the way the series was originally scheduled. We had an off day on Friday, but no off day now exists, so it'll be interesting to see who goes in Game 6. On the subject of the rest of the games tomorrow, Game 5 for sure. That's not an if-necessary game now. We'll definitely have a game tomorrow, 3:45 Eastern Daylight Time, 12:45 out here on the coast. Catfish Hunter against probably Jim McLaughlin.
We have had one dramatic moment in this ball game thus far. That was the home run by Gene Tennis in the 5th inning to make it 1-0. Here is our second dramatic moment. In the 8th inning, with 2 outs, the tying run, Concepcion is on at third base. Vida Blue has come in to pitch to Joe Morgan, who has not a base hit, an RBI in the entire series. He takes a strike at the knee. Morgan steps out, looks down, takes the bat, knocks the dirt off his cleat. Looks down to Alex Graham, who's coaching at third, and steps back in. Bando has come in on the grass at third base. They're back on the right side. Fastball misses outside. Ball gets away from Tennis, and Blue hustles off the mound, but it did not get through Tennis. Kept it in front of him. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 the A's. They win this one. They're not home free, but they'll have a 3-1 edge and need only 1 more. In the possible remaining 3 games to wrap it up, they could wrap it up tomorrow, but they are not out of the woods yet. Ground ball foul at the plate. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The dangerous Vida Blue with that fastball. And good serve. As Morgan down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morgan, a left-handed batter. Blue, a left-handed pitcher. In the series, Blue has worked 2 2/3 innings in 2 games and allowed 2 hits. He's saved 1 game. 1-2, Concepcion down the line at third base. Ball is high and away and grabbed by Tennis. Nearly the wild pitch. Remember the wild pitch in the 5th game of the National League playoffs by Bob Booth of Pittsburgh? It allowed the runner to score from third base with the winning run in the last of the 9th inning. That was almost a wild pitch. Perhaps it cost up Tennis, but the ball got away high and away. It is 2-2 now. 2 outs. Blue back and throws the ball just misses outside. Blue takes a long look at Frankie Monty, plate umpire. Now they've gone all the way. It is 3-2 with 2 outs. down there. 3 and 2, 2 out. Concepcion the tying run at third base. 8th inning. Blue stares into Gene Tennis's catcher. Concepcion bluffs coming down the line. Bando bluffs toward third base. Blue continues to look. Morgan swinging the bat. Decides he's had enough. Steps out. Blue steps off. Concepcion goes back to third base. Blue goes for the Rosenbach. Morgan steps back in. Concepcion leads off third base. Blue nods the approval of the sign, comes in with the pitch down too low. He has walked Morgan. And that brings up Bobby Tolan, who is 2 for 15. He has reached once on an error tonight. And Dick Williams hustles out now to talk to Vida Blue. Both bullpens continue busy. Williams, Tennis, and Bando talking with Vida Blue. Tennis starts back. Williams trots toward the dugout. Bando goes back now to talk to Campaneris and Green to tell them what it is that they've decided upon at the mound. Go to second base. Go to first base. Who takes what? Under what circumstances might they throw home? Tolan. They only need an out. And the Reds only need a run to tie. They're running, and the drive is pulled down the right field line. It is a fair ball. 1 run scores. Running on the play was Morgan. Around third base. Morgan's coming on. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe. And it is 2-1 Cincinnati. On the line drive double by Bobby Tolan down the right field line. Well, Jim, I guess just a matter of time before the top three started doing something. Holtzman, a nice play to get his glove on the grounder by Rose, which might have gone through. Morgan draws the walk and then is off and moving, and because he was moving, he's able to score in the double by Tolan. Had he been standing at first base when Bobby doubled, the game would have been only tied right now. He's been a third. Johnny Bench, 2 for 3. Has hit the ball very hard all 3 times. Lou made a fine running catch on him in the 6th inning. Tolan's down at second. Bench looks at a breaking pitch from Vida Blue. It's strike 1. Well, with dramatic suddenness, and we'll point out again what Al Michaels has just pointed out to you. Had not Joe Morgan been off and running as the pitch was delivered to Tolan, he would not have scored. It would have been 1-1 with 2 outs. Blue steps off, bluffs. Tolan back to second base. But Tolan, who had not scored a run or driven in a run, drove in a run, and Morgan, who had not scored one, scored his first. Dramatic first for the Cincinnati Reds. Blue ready to throw to Bench. Straight away center field, high in the air. Hendrick running in, stops now suddenly and has it for the third out. But 2-run score on 2 base hits. There were no errors and 1 man left. We go to the last of the 8th, and suddenly the Reds have taken the lead. Cincinnati 2, Oakland 1.
At Rhodes we have got a love to share, and we care about the people who shop here. We'll give you good reason to stop here. Just think of Rhodes as your store.
Exclusively at Rhodes, the name caller. This battery-operated automatic telephone caller instantly dials any of 38 numbers you most often call. Convenient, accurate, perfect for home or office. And at Rhodes, downtown and Gateway.
People who don't need it, drink it. Folks that are on a diet, try it.
You don't have to give up good taste to save on calories. Diet Bright Cola tastes so good, everybody likes it.
Everybody likes it.
Michaels, Jim Simpson with you from the Oakland Coliseum. Game 4 of the World Series. The Reds 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The A's 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. And the new Cincinnati pitcher is right-hander Pedro Borbon. Dick Williams making a move in the 8th inning, lifting Ken Holtzman for Vida Blue. Holtzman, you can close the book on Kenny, worked 7 2/3. He gave up 1 run, yielded 5 hits, did not walk anybody. Holtzman had 1 strikeout. He got Perez back in the first inning. Vida Blue now the pitcher of record. The pitcher of record for the Reds is Don Gullett. Borbon will try to pick up the save. And here again is Jim Simpson.
Borbon has a sinking fastball, and throughout this series he's had everybody hitting the ball into the ground. For 3 innings, has not allowed a hit, and has struck out 4. Campanella is 0 for 3. Up to face Bourbon. Menke in on the grass, and there's a fastball. Down low, right at the knees. It's strike one to Campanella. You can go back to your scorecards, and you will see nothing but ground balls hit off Bourbon when he is right. Leading 2-1, into the one-up and throws, and there's the ground ball. Into the hole goes Concepcion, up and throws over to first base. And Perez makes a fine play, backing off, keeping his right foot on the bag as his left had to go to foul territory. And there's one out in the Oakland 8th. That'll bring up Matty Alou, who tonight has made 2 dramatic catches and is 0 for 2 plus a walk. Should Cincinnati win this game, it's a surety. We go on back to Cincinnati for a game on Saturday afternoon. Alou swings and misses. And a Bourbon fastball, which this time was up high. Strike one. Menke in on the grass, well in front of the bag at third, guarding against the possibility of a Matty Alou punt. But he's swinging and grounding it to the right side. Morgan is there and easily throws him out. And Bourbon has got that sinking fastball doing just what it's been doing for most of the year and for all of the World Series, getting the men to hit the ball into the ground. Now, Joe Rudi, who popped out in the first when he was jammed, struck out swinging in the fourth, singled in the sixth. That's when with 2 outs, the A's had 2 men on and got Epstein on the line drive to right field. To end that threat, the only A's run was on the Gene Tennis home run in the 5th inning. And, of course, Cincinnati just scored 2 on the line drive double by Tolan in their half of this inning, the 8th. Rudi, the right-handed batter. Bourbon is ready and throws a strike at the knees. 1 strike to Joe Rudi. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Cincinnati, 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error for Oakland as Bourbon is ready. Right-handed throws, drops down a little bit, and throws the breaking pitch, but it stays inside to Rudi. And it's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The league leading man in base hits, 181. The man who led the National League in the majors with 198 is Pete Rose out in left field. Ball hit to the right side, and it's past Perez, who goes toward the bag and then back. And Rudi has his second hit of the night. And Bando, who is 2 for 2 plus the walk, is coming up. That, too, was a ground ball. Perez made a move, kind of a shoulder fake toward first, and then go for the ball, but it was too late. Bando singled right in the second, walked intensely in the fourth, and singled and left in the sixth. All of that was off the left-hander Don Gillett, of course, and now he's facing the right-hander Bourbon. Pedro has gone to the rosin bag. Down by a run with 2 outs. Tying run at first base. Bando, the right-hander, stepped in. There's the pitch. It's outside. Ball 1 to Bando. Herb Norton looks in to Dick Williams in the dugout and then looks to Bando, but Bando's looking back at Bourbon. Goes again, and there's a ground ball toward the shortstop. Concepcion charges, will go to first base with it, throws, and has got the out. Bourbon with that sinking fastball gets them. A run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th inning of the 4th game of the World Series. Cincinnati leads it 2-1 over Oakland.
Hello, I'm Johnny Bench, speaking for Anco Windshield Wipers. The other day I was at a game that was called because of rain. As the unhappy fans straggled out to their cars, I thought it was too bad the drive home couldn't be canceled because of rain also. Too many people these days are driving with windshield wipers that streak their windshield, and I don't think they can see as far as home plate. If your windshield wipers are over 6 months old, you ought to consider replacing them. The rubber in the best wiper blades ages and gets hard, so the wipers start striking out, and they're really dangerous for you and your family. Stop in at any gas station where you see the big, bright yellow Anco cabinet and replace them. Anco windshield wiper blades are engineered for almost every car made, imports too. And the Anco cabinet contains a complete lineup. You'll get the proper fit for your car. Insist on Anco windshield wipers. After all, driving is one game you and your family have got to win every time. That's Anco wiper blades, the big leaguers by Anderson.
Another 1-run ball game as we've had 4 of them in the World Series to this point. 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, and tonight 2-1 in favor of the Reds. 9th inning. Perez leads off for the Reds. Here again is Jim.
Vida Blue remains in there. It's his ball game to lose. Perez, the right-hander, facing Blue, the left-hander for the first time, and Vida is ready and throws the fastball. It's way high, ball 1. Perez in the first inning struck out swinging at a fastball, drove Hendrick deep in the 4th inning, catches fly ball, and got the little Texas leaguer down the right field line for a single in the 7th. 1 for 3 swings at a low pitch from Blue, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Game time tomorrow afternoon is 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. We will be on the air 3:45 Eastern time. Took something off that pitch, and Perez drops it in front of Lou in right field for a base hit. Lou changed up on Perez, and Tony gets his second straight hit. That is the second hit off Lou, and the 7th for Cincinnati. Leadoff batter is on, and here's Hal McRae, who is 1 for 3, a single in the second inning. Now Bando comes over. Dave Hamilton and Raleigh Fingers continue to work in the bullpen. It might be that we will see Fingers in pretty much of a hurry. McRae is a right-hander. Menke is a right-hander. Here comes Dick Williams. And I think we're going to see Raleigh Fingers in even a bigger hurry than what I might have indicated to you. But this string of right-handers coming up, still in a one-run ball game. Williams, I feel sure, Al, is going to go for Raleigh Fingers.
Well, you know, I think they'll start talking about it also today after the game. They'll talk to Blue about it, and Williams, can a pitcher, can a man like Vida Blue, who has been starting for 2 years, can he go to the bullpen? Can he throw every day? It's a new pattern, a new routine. A starting pitcher, at least I know with the Reds all season, they're in a type of groove where you are working every 5th day, you pitch, and then you take 2 days off, then you throw on the side, then you have another off day, and then you start again. Here's a fellow like Vida Blue, Jim. Can he start all season long, as he did last year, and as he did most of this season? He did appear quite a bit in relief, but still he was basically a starter. Can you then send him down to the bullpen and expect him to be effective as a relief pitcher, working every day?
Well, he did such a great job nailing down the American League pennant for the A's in the 5th game against Detroit in relief of John Odom. And then, of course, he relieved Ken Holtzman in the first game of the World Series. And last night when he came in, he was not that effective. Now, Raleigh Fingers coming on has been in all 3 games, so this will make it all 4 games for him, and thus far he's pitched 3 2/3 innings. He's only given up 1 hit, walked 2, and has struck out 6 of the men that he has faced. So Fingers, the right-hander, is out there, and McRae is on deck. And on first base is Perez. It is still a 1-run ball game, 2-1 Cincinnati, and the Oakland A's would like to keep it a 1-run ball game and try to tie it or win it in the 9th inning, when they will have Egan, Hendrick, and Tennis, the listed batters. Fingers says he's ready. McRae, 1 for 3, the single on the second, steps in. Bando moves in toward the edge of the grass at third base. Fingers steps on and looks into Tennis's catcher. Perez is running, and they've got him picked off. Throw to first, down to second, and they've got him. Perez, not a particularly great base runner. He fell down rounding third last night, was picked off by Country Mile. It went 1. It's 3-4. And McRae is now up there, still looking for the first pitch from Fingers. And he gets it, a breaking ball. He swings through it and misses. Strike 1. Fingers right back and throws a fastball. It catches the inside corner, and McRae turns and seams at Frankie Umaz. The plate umpire. It's 2 straight. Strike. Fingers started him out with a breaking pitch, had him swinging, and then comes back with a fastball in under the hands and on the inside corner of the plate. Big, tall Raleigh Fingers ready and drops down side on and has him swinging in a breaking pitch. Got him on 3 pitches. Well, you can say in a matter of speaking, Al, that Fingers has thrown 4 times and has 2 outs.
What a job he's done. I know the Reds are most impressed, and Dick Williams thinks he's as good as anybody in baseball. The Reds, I think, would agree with that at this particular point.
Dennis Menke, 0 for 3. Last 1 ball right at third baseman Sal Bando. Takes the first pitch outside. Ball 1. 2 outs now in the 9th inning of a 2-1 ball game. The A's with 1 more chance. Popped up, foul, out of play. 1 more chance, that is, to take a 3-game-1 lead. Otherwise, if Cincinnati holds in the 9th, it is 2 games to 2, another game tomorrow afternoon, and then a quick hurry trip to Cincinnati for a Saturday afternoon game. Curveball just does miss. 2 balls, 1 strike. There won't be much sleep after tomorrow afternoon's game. 2-1. Drops down again. Fastball. Deep out to left center field. Over goes Rudy. Over goes Hendrick. And it is Rudy who takes it for the out. The ball just seems to die out there. That's the second long drive hit to left center field that has turned into nothing more than an easy out. Cincinnati leads Oakland 2-1.
More and more people today are rediscovering natural things. So why not a more natural antiperspirant? Well, that's just what new Right Guard Natural Scent Antiperspirant is. It's got a scent made from natural ingredients, herbs, so it smells light and clean, not heavy or artificial like so many of today's antiperspirants. And it's Right Guard, so you know it'll help keep you dry all day long. So if you like things natural and you use an antiperspirant, try the first and only natural scent antiperspirant from Right Guard.
Gillette makes a better double edge now than the one your father used. The smoothest edge we can put on a blade, but the smoothest shave we can put on your face. The Platinum Plus blade. And someday, Gillette will make even a better blade for your son. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We made the first blade, and we're still the first blade. Gillette. Platinum Plus.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Pedro Borbon working for the Reds, trying to save it for Don Gullett. In the bullpen, left-hander Tom Hall, right-hander Clay Cow. One defensive change for the Reds. The new right fielder is Cesar Geronimo. So we go to the ninth inning. Hegan leads off for the A's. Bottom of the ninth. Here again is Jim Simpson.
Side out, Mike Hegan. First time at bat in this, the fourth game of the World Series. Hit .329 on the year. Mostly the pinch hitter. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Is 0 for 2 in the series. Borbon is ready, throws to left-hander, and catches the outside corner, strike one. Cincinnati 2, Oakland 1. Cincinnati wins this will at least be a 6-game series. Ball grounded right to Menke at third base, who is guarding the line. Hit the other way, and he quickly throws it out, and there's one out in the ninth. The 1 run for the A's, the 5th inning home run by Gene Tenace. The 2 runs for the Cincinnati Reds came in the 8th inning. Polish pulled a double inside the line with 2 outs, throwing Concepcion and Morgan running all the way from first base towards the second and the go-ahead run. Gonzalo Marquez comes out to hit for the right-handed George Hendricks. Marquez is also a pretty good hitter. He was the man who built up quite a reputation down in the minor leagues with Iowa. Came up swinging. Won an important playoff game for Oakland, and is 1 for 2 in the series. Left-handed batter, facing the right-handed Borbon. He comes up there to swing, takes the breaking pitch on the inside corner, strike one. Menke still guarding the line at third. Perez won him back at the bag. This is up the middle. Concepcion goes for it behind, and now lets it go through. He and Morgan were on a collision course, but Marquez running from the left-handed side of the batter's box would have beaten it out for the tying run. The one-on is on base, and Alan Lewis, one of the fastest men in baseball, races to first to run for Marquez, who has done his job. And now Gene Tenace, who hit his third World Series home run tonight off Don Gullett, comes up with 1 out. That's for 30 seconds for station identification.
KGW, Portland, Oregon.
At Rhodes we have got a love to share, and we care about the people who shop here. We'll give you good reason to stop here. Just think of Rhodes as your store.
PhoneMate, the automatic answering service that records incoming messages, gives your pre-recorded message to callers, even lets you know who's calling without lifting the receiver. Perfect for home or office, just $139.50 at Rhodes, downtown, and Gateway.
With Al Michaels in Oakland, this is Jim Simpson. 1 out, last of the ninth, 2-1 Cincinnati. Tenace the batter, Borbon ready to throw. Strike hit the knees from Borbon with that sinking fastball. Alan Lewis always a threat to steal. The first World Series appearance he had was in the first game. And Cincinnati came in, tried to steal on the first pitch, and was thrown out. This pitch is up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny Bench gunned him down, and now Dennis Menke says, hold it, this is third base umpire Chris Salakutis, and races in to say something to Borbon. And it might be keep him on. Keep him a little bit closer to the bag. Don't give Alan Lewis such a big jump. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tenace steps back in. Borbon is ready again. Now he looks over to Alan Lewis. Perez is holding him on. He's not running. The pitch is up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. early pitching staff. Anderson is coming out, and here comes a man out of the bullpen. Al Michaels, familiar figure starting out when they're in trouble.
Clay Carroll is coming in. He's the man who set the major league record this year. Most saves, a total of 37. A very confident fellow. Probably walks in from the bullpen faster than any man in baseball. He was ready. He was throwing in the 8th inning. He was throwing here in the 9th inning. He was warm, and he was just watching Sparky as Anderson made his way to the mound, and Sparky gave the sign. Carroll took one more toss and strides in from the pen. So the Hawk, as he is known in Cincinnati because of his facial features, is asked to come on and save this game, which belongs to Don Gullett. For Bone, just before he threw that last pitch, Dick Williams came out of the A's dugout questioning Bourbone's motion. He was talking to Frank Umont, the plate umpire, contending that Bourbon was not coming set at the belt long enough and that it should be a balk, but to no avail. Umont said that it was legal, but that's not of any particular consequence right now. Pedro is out of the ballgame, and Clay Carroll on to pitch. He worked in relief last night, pitched the 9th inning. After Jack Billingham started the 9th, he went 3-0 on Epstein, and then Carroll came on to get Epstein on a 3-1 pitch to ground out. Bando hit a soft liner for the second out, and he got Hendrick. So tonight he comes on with a winning one to the plate, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Gene Tennis.
Carroll says he's ready. Lewis leads off first base. Starting back toward right field, Cesar Geronimo. He was over near the right field line. And Clay Carroll steps in. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tennis who waits. Lewis is not scoring. The pitch is down low, and it is 3 balls and 1 strike. And Clay Carroll yells something in at Frank Umont. Now, Umont is an American League umpire. And remember, the American League is a high strike zone. The National League is a low strike zone. Might have been a National League strike. There's an American League umpire down there. It's just a low pitch. 3-1. slipped and fell as everybody was running on the line drive to right center field. Out of Liz scored easily from second to first, and Kenneth raced to third. Now Odom takes his place at first base. Jerry Adair, the coach there, checks. The Cincinnati infield comes in. If a run scores, Oakland will lead 3 games to 1 in the most dramatic of the World Series games since last night. This has been some series, all by 1 run. 3-2 on 2 home runs by Tennis, 2-1 on a home run by Rudy. And then last night, Perez falling down to score the only run to win that 1-0. We are 2-2. Manuel steps in. The strategy meetings are over. Carroll, Cincinnati's big man from the bullpen, is on the mound to face Manuel. Outfield has come in close. A long fly ball with score. Tennis from third base. A ground ball to the infield. Oakland wins the game. The Oakland A's go wild. Mangrove has won it. Had the infield not been drawn in, there's a distinct possibility of a double play ball. But the infield was drawn in. The ball almost jammed Mangrove. He hit it off the fifth to the right side. It got through. Tennis scored his second run of the night. Oakland leads 3 games to 1, having won this ball game. It's all over. The final score, Oakland 3 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. Cincinnati 2 runs, 7 hits and 1 error.
Hi, this is Joe Garagiola. Well, it's World Series time again, and you know what that means. There's a lot of talk going on comparing the 2 pennant winners. Which team has the best lineup, the best pitching staff, and the discussion goes on and on, back and forth. Well, the Dodge boys have a member of their 1973 lineup that's been talked about a lot the past few weeks. It's Dart Sport Convertible, the most versatile, exciting compact the Dodge boys have ever sold. You see, the convertible comes from the famous Dart family of fine economy cars. Plus, it's 3 cars in 1, and that's why it's called Convertible. You take the basic Dart Sport and add 2 options, a sunroof and fold-down rear seat. And presto changeo, you have a roomy 5-passenger car, a sunroof convertible, an economy wagon with a cargo area that's 6.5 feet long. Dart Sport Convertible. It's like getting 3 cars for the price of 1. See it at your Dodge dealers today.
Well, the Oakland A's have moved into a commanding 3-1 lead in the World Series as they come from behind and dramatically beat the Cincinnati Reds tonight 3-2. The totals for the A's, 3 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. 8 runners left on base. For the Reds, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. They stand at 5. Ronnie Fingers gets the win, and Clay Carroll, the losing pitcher. To review the scoring in the 5th inning, Gene Tennis hit a home run to make it a 1-0 Oakland. It stayed that way until the 8th inning. Dave Concepcion led off with an infield hit. Cooley and Javier sacrificed to the second. Then Pete Rose grounded out with Concepcion going to third. At that point, Ken Holtzman was lifted. Vida Blue was called in. He walked Joe Morgan, and then Bobby Tolan doubled to right to drive in 2 runs to make it 2-1 Cincinnati. Pedro Borbon worked the 8th inning for the Reds, shut the A's down. In the 9th, he retired the first man he faced, Mike Keegan, on a ground ball, but that was the only out the Reds were to get in the inning. Gonzalo Marquez came up, grounded a single to center. Then the count went to 2-1 on Gene Tennis. Rocky Anderson went to the mound, lifted Borbon, brought in Clay Carroll. Gene Tennis grounded a single into left field with Alan Lewis, the pinch runner, going to second. Then Don Mincher, a pinch hitter, came up, swung on the first pitch, hit it into right center field for a base hit to score the pinch runner Lewis to tie the game, and then up came Angel Manuel as a pinch hitter for the first time in the series. He hit the first pitch on the ground into right field, and before anybody knew it, the A's had 4 straight hits and a victory in game number 4. So the Reds will have to become one of the few clubs in history to be down 3 games to 1 and take 3 in a row if they are to be the world champions, with game 5 coming up here tomorrow at 3:45 Eastern Time, 12:45 Pacific Time.
This copyrighted recording is licensed by Major League Baseball. Any reproduction or other commercial use of this recording, in whole or in part, is prohibited.
That's an advantage you can only get from your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
The Mets welcomed Darryl Strawberry back to Shea Stadium tonight, and 49,000 people were here to welcome him back as well. A lot of cheers, a lot of boos. And the Mets got started quickly against Tim Belcher in the first inning with some help from some abysmal Dodger defense. With one out, Tommy Herr looped a single behind third base. Then Dave Magadan hit a double play ball to Juan Samuel, who kicked it for an error, and the Mets had first and second with one down. Hubie Brooks hit a hit-and-run grounder to short that moved the runners up. With two down, Howard Johnson walked on 4 pitches. That filled the bases with 2 out and brought up Kevin McReynolds.
The 1-0 delivery. Line drive left field is going to be caught. Bobbles dropped by Daniels. 1 run scores. 2 runs score.
And the Mets had a 2-0 lead on Daniels' drop of a line drive hit right at him. The Mets still had first and third with 2 men down. Chris Donalds was playing in his first Major League game. He was brought up when Greg Jeffers won on the DL. He started at third base and became the 88th Mets third baseman in history. And he went right to work at the plate against Tim Belcher.
Chris Donalds, signed out of Loyola Marymount as a first-round draft choice by New York. And a ground ball hit through the middle of base hit to center field. Howard Johnson scores. McReynolds goes first to third. The Mets have a 3-0 lead.
And Chris Donalds had a base hit and an RBI in his first Major League at-bat. Mets threatened again in the second inning. They got second and third with 2 down after a double steal by Coleman and Herr, but Hubie Brooks struck out to end the inning. But they were not done against Tim Belcher because in the third inning, Howard Johnson led off and worked the count to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit high in the air, deep to right field. Back goes Strawberry, back to the track, back near the wall. It's out of here! Home run, Howard Johnson, and the Mets lead 4-0. Hojo, his 6th home run of the year. Kevin McReynolds followed with a sharp single to center, and Donalds drew a walk. Rick Cerrone then hit into a double play with McReynolds taking third. It looked like Belcher was out of the inning because Frank Viola was up next. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, over the mound, toward the middle. Griffin can't get it. It's into center field, a base hit. In to score is McReynolds, and Viola, with a run-scoring single, gives the Mets a 5-0 lead. It took about 19 hops through the middle, but they all count. And so Viola had built himself a big lead. Then in the 4th inning, Tommy Herr drew a walk. He stole second, his second stolen base of the game. And with 2 men down, Howard Johnson came through again. The pitch on the way. Line drive, deep left center field. Racing back is Butler on the run. Won't get to it. It's a 1 hop up against the wall. In to score is Herr. On his way to second is Hojo. He has a double, and the Mets have a 6-0 lead. And they were cruising. Belcher left the game at that point. On came Tim Cruz, and the Dodger bullpen from there did a fine job. Viola was going along without a worry. He faced Darryl Strawberry in the first inning, got him on a fly ball to center field. Faced him in the 4th inning. Darryl hit one a long way to right center field, but Coleman tracked that one down on the warning track. And through the first 5 innings, Viola had given up just 3 singles. The Dodgers had not had a man past first base. Then in the 6th inning, pinch hitter Jose Gonzalez struck out. Brett Butler tried to lay down a bunt single, and Chris Donalds made his second sparkling play of the game. A barehanded pickup and throw, and he got Butler at first base, and it looked like Viola was going to cruise through the 6th as well. 2 out and nobody on, but Juan Samuel hit a 3-1 pitch in the left field for a base hit, and that brought up Strawberry for his 3rd at bat. The pitch by Viola hit high into the air to left center field. Going back is Coleman, back to the warning track, near the wall. It's out of here! 2-run homer, Darryl Strawberry. It's now a 6-2 ball game. For Darryl, only his 2nd home run of the year, and that really got the crowd alive. It also got the Dodgers alive. Eddie Murray was up next. Viola got in front of him, 0-2. Hit high in the air, deep to left field, way back, forget it. That is long gone. Home run for Eddie Murray to the back of the left field bullpen. Back-to-back home runs by Strawberry and Murray, and now the Mets' lead has been trimmed to 6-3. Viola wriggled his way out of the rest of the inning, but he left after 6, apparently bothered by a stomach virus. Viola threw 88 pitches, allowed 3 runs and 7 hits over those 6 innings. Pete Shurik came on and did a good job out of the bullpen. 2 innings of 1-hit ball, and he turned it over to Frank Viola for the 9th. 6-3 New York. Looked like a routine save opportunity for Franco. Jeff Hamilton led off and hit a ground ball down to Chris Donalds, who had been flawless all night long, but this one, Donalds threw in the dirt past Dave Magadan for a 2-base error, and Hamilton was at second base. But no matter, because Franco struck out Mike Scioscia. Then Mike Sharperson hit a slow ground ball to first base. Magadan fielded it. Franco went over to cover, and when he covered, he apparently got spiked on the toes by Mike Sharperson. He got the out at first base, though. There were 2 out, only 1 to go. Hamilton was on third base, and up to the plate stepped Gary Carter as a pinch hitter.
So now with the score 6-3 New York, 2 men down, 9th inning. Gary Carter is the hitter. Line drive hit hard down the left field line. That's a base hit. Hamilton will score. Carter is on his way to second, and the tying run will now come to bat for the Dodgers.
It was a 6-4 ball game at that point. Brett Butler then hit a chopper that came down in the hands of Chris Donalds near third base. He had no chance in the world to throw Butler out, but he had the presence of mind to throw back to second behind Carter, and it looked like the Mets had the final out of the game as Herb put a tag down on Carter, but Charlie Williams called Carter safe, and the game went on. Juan Samuel was up next.
2 men down. Franco trying to get that final out. Here's the pitch on the way. Line drive, base hit. Going into right center field. Butler is the man to watch. He's on his way to third. He'll stop at third base. And now it's 6-5, and guess who's coming to bat? Can you believe this? Darryl Strawberry is coming to bat with a tying run on third base.
And somehow you had the feeling all along that it was going to come down to this. Franco against Strawberry, 6-5 New York, tying run on third, 2 men down, and needless to say, this was our Budweiser turning point of the game.
Strawberry windmilling the batter around, standing feet close together. Franco off the stretch, the pitch. And it's a blue hit out toward the infield. Grabbed by Donalds, the throw. He's out. He's out, and the Mets win.
Oh, what a heart-rending play, because that ball had a tremendous amount of spin on it as it went toward Donalds at third base. But Donalds, who had made the error to open the inning,